But we're also going to place strong protections to stop banks and regulators from trying to debank you from your political beliefs, what they do. They want to debank you, and we're going to debank. Think of this. They want to take away your rights. They want to take away your country. The things you're doing, all electric cars, give me a break. If you want an electric car, good, but they don't go far. They're very expensive.
The former president wants his followers to be afraid again, this time over being debanked. And the supporters that he's speaking to know exactly what he's referring to, and it's not electric cars. I don't know why he brought that up. What he's not saying is that extremists that use online or alternative platforms to fund their plans of violence, as well as their bail when they're busted, are the people that are blocked from using them. What a way to tell everyone that you stand with and support political violence. But actually, there are other troubling details.
Banks, and went up to banks and was saying to them, hey, would you do me a favor? I need to get in there and start looking at any any keywords like MAGA, like Trump, other keywords that might be standing out. Also play anything on Zelle. They also said they wanted to Dick's Sporting Goods, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, and find out who was buying what. What does this tell you?
People often ask me what the deep state is. These are deep state spies in action. You're taking suspicionless Americans and you're qualifying them based on their political beliefs, based on their credit card transactions. So you're going to banks and credit unions, and they're trying to essentially score people to look at them. I mean, these are the allegations, and be able to say, give us the whole universe of people like myself. I go to Cabela's. I buy ammunition there. I bought guns there. So suddenly I'm on a watch list with the federal government. This is so fundamentally, totally wrong to its core. People say, oh, what does it matter? We got to, root out the terrorists. No, in America, you have the right to privacy. You should not have your federal government coming after you because you shop at Cabela's.
Pretty alarming stuff, but it would make more sense if Kilmeade explained that the keywords that were looked into were part of the authorities' investigation into MAGA's attack on the Capitol on January 6th. You know, that little event where thousands of sore losers with guns, bear spray, and hostage-taking supplies like zip ties ran to D.C. to pacify their leader. Fox News was all over the story in support of the political unfairness element of Trump's propaganda machine. But rich guy Kevin O'Leary pointed out that these alarming revelations about banks are utilized more often than just gathering evidence on political criminals.
What do you make of how it sounds like in the wake of January 6th, the Treasury Department, it sounds like federal investigators were looking into people who were involved with January 6th and the riot on the Capitol, and apparently they got some banks to cooperate and turn over financial dealings. Does that surprise you?
Well, you can get any bank to cooperate with you if you serve them a subpoena. Yeah. I don't know if that was used here, but this concept is widely known amongst data providers as data scraping. And so it's used all the time to target consumers for digital advertising. This is a big business now, and we've all become pretty complacent. It's got a big brother tone to it, but it happens every single day. So if you have 10 million names in your credit card file, you can be sure that somebody is scraping that data to find people that live in Miami that make over $250,000 that are involved in real estate. That's just an example I know happens every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding. Well, we need more answers.
Ducey quickly moved on after O'Leary's answer didn't really satisfy their victimhood narrative. And by the way, though, it is alarming to discover that authorities were combing through your financial records based on your connection to and presence at a violently political event that resulted in the deaths of multiple people. And without that key detail, it seems like law enforcement was just profiling citizens based on who they are, not what they've possibly done wrong. So I'm going to have to go and look for all the many Fox News segments that railed on the common practice of racial profiling, even the stop and frisk policies that target minorities because you know how they are. Regardless, though, Steve Ducey must have eventually looked into the kinds of things that MAGA suspects were being monitored for and found that it happened before Biden even took office. And he also discovered that the searches just might make some sense, which Kilmeade and the rest of the Fox and Friends crew wanted nothing to do with.
But Brooke, this all happened during the Trump administration.
Sure, it happened in the days after January 6th, of course, which was just 2 weeks, I guess, before the inauguration, January 20th. That is part of the Trump administration, maybe the Biden transition team here.
Brooke mentioned Cabela's and Bass Pro and Dick's Sporting Goods.
All places I shop at.
I was at the big one
Most
in
people
Kansas
do.
City a
Most
couple
others.
weeks ago. You know what Bass Pro, Cabela's, and Dick's Sporting Goods all sell? Bear spray. Remember there were a number of police officers, federal officers, who were attacked, allegedly, and some people have been convicted since then because they used bear spray.
Yeah.
So maybe they were simply, it seems like you attack a federal officer, there's going to be a federal
But Steve,
investigation,
why would-
obviously. But they,
Why would
Lawrence,
they cast
I
such
don't know.
a
I'm just
wide-
saying, I'm suggesting
I
that they
get it.
all sell bear spray.